Alrighty, what's happening, bunnies? And today our gameplay is a remake of a previous game that we uploaded, which is Feather Hunters. If you guys have watched that clip, you'll notice that we came in second. So we did some work in the back end to try and improve on that comp and find ways to make sure that we had a stronger composition. And I think we were quite successful with that. So please enjoy this gameplay. If you do enjoy it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate the support, and we'll catch you in the gameplay. Enjoy. What's happening, bunnies? And today we've got a great gameplay for you guys. A Feather Hunter game that we played in the Rook 7 grind. I think we've hit Rook 8 now, so we're trying to get up to the King's level and eventually Queen. That's the ultimate goal. But for now, as we push this grind, I thought I'd share this game with you. It was quite an exciting one. I think towards the end you'll see how close it gets. But it's a comp that I quite enjoy playing at the moment. Hunters is in a good place, and if you build your Hunters comp right with the right feathered units, as an example, a feathered hunter build is really OP at the moment, and it's a great comp to run. So let's see how it goes. Let's jump straight in. We are blessed early game with the level 2 God of War, and that was, I think, in our opening shop. So that was quite a surprise for us, and we'll definitely take that. I still debate whether or not to level 2 at round 2 or to 2-star at round 2. As opposed to having 2 1-stars. I'm still not sure which one's more effective. I don't think it makes a substantial difference. I just don't want to risk losing this round and getting the HP hit. So let me just fix myself here. Cool, so we start with Gods of War at this stage, and we're not entirely sure where we're going to push into next round. But we pick up a Whisper Seer and Unicorn combo, and that's generally good if you are going to push into any feathered combo will require druids. So it makes sense for us to put one of them on the board. This isn't the strongest opening setup, and I don't think I've realized it yet, but I actually have 2 out of 3 pieces, and I can actually have 3 on the board. So a bit of a misplay here. I didn't pick it up. It's because of the confusion around the 2-star God of War. So a bit of a rookie error there. But it's all good. It is what it is, and we sort of just have to go for it. But when you're opening with druids, you probably want to transition into them at a slightly later stage and keep them on the bench, because they're not really strong in the early game.
You can't hold a candle to my power.
I think in this instance, because I was given them so early, especially the Whisper Seer, I decided to pick them up. But I've got nothing tanky on the board at the moment, besides obviously the God of War. I have nothing that's going to produce a lot of damage, so it's important that I make changes to that really quickly. So I pick up the Agassiz. The 2-star Unicorn will also give us some damage and some healing in the early game, which will help a little bit. I think we are fortunate for the first human round to have 2 2-star units. And the Agassiz on the back line will really do a good job here in helping us progress. I would think we'd win this round quite comfortably. There's not a lot of teams in the first human rounds, round 4, 5 and 6, that are going to really crush through a God of War level 2, especially if you've got other 2-star units on the board. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. I missed the scout there, but we do pick up our Agassiz 2-star and another Unicorn. There's a Red Axe Chief there up for grabs as well, and I think the decision here will be whether or not we level up, because we do have the HP to do so.
I might be red, but I ain't shy.
Sorry, we do have the Econ to do so. I think we leave the other Unicorn, reason being, when we go into a druid build, irrespective of which one it is, whether it's feathered assassin or hunter feathered, we don't usually use the Unicorn, so keeping it at 2 stars is fine. We can sell it off at some stage if we need to. We're definitely not going to be pushing for a 3-star Unicorn in this game, so as long as we have the Whisper Seer on the bench, we should be okay for now. And as I mentioned, our team is quite strong at this stage, and because we are I'm going to try and push a bit of a win streak here, it would make sense to probably level up sooner rather than later and sacrifice that economy for a stronger early game team.
Nature nature. No.
Some assembly required.
It would have been nice if we had a third warrior here just to get the synergy going. But you see, we do spend the money there on the econ, and we actually bring in our 2-star Whisper Seer in instead of the Skybreaker. And at this stage, looking at the comp we've already got going, unless we get a 2-star Skybreaker, there's not much use for him, and he'll probably get sold within the next few rounds because we already have a nice strong front unit in God of War. And all of our damage is coming from ranged units. So unless there's an assassin team at play, we should be reasonably comfortable in these first few rounds. Right, so if we are going into Hunter, we'll probably pick up the Shining Archer, and we do. We pick up the Doom, and I think that is... Oh, so we just replace him. I would have thought we would have included him on the bench and maybe taken one of the other guys off, just to get the warrior synergy. But I think the logic behind that was that we already have 2-star units on the board, and like even a Tusker would have been great because then we would get warrior and the beast synergy with the unicorn. But I think the logic was we don't want to, we don't have the econ to level up twice to get to level 6, and as a result of that, we rather stick with the 2-star units that we already have on the board. And I think that's what I was thinking at this stage. But you can see we're pretty much wrecking through most of the teams. It's not sustainable. They'll definitely start beating us within the next couple of rounds, simply because we don't have a really strong team. It's strong really early game, and if we don't develop it soon, we will start losing 1 or 2 of those rounds.
Fight first, nap later.
So we pick up the wooden club. Wooden club, I think generally we would put it on the Aegisthus at this stage, simply because we can get a Frantic Mask on her. She doesn't have a mana regen issue. So the Frantic Mask works well on her, but because in all likelihood we might get rid of Doom at some stage, if we push into a Feathered Synergy or Druid Synergy, I put the club on him for now just to increase his attack speed, and then at a later stage we'll sell him and get the club back, and we can position it onto the correct unit at that stage. We hit our 5 win streak, so that's quite cool. You can see there's another feathered build, potentially a couple of mages as well, and a couple of knight builds as well, but I don't think those are permanent knight builds. I think those are gonna, one of them at least is going to transition out into maybe a hunter synergy. Okay, so you can see we're econing quite nicely because of the win streak, and as a result we're able to level up nicely, get to level 6, put on another back end player or ranged player, and get one step closer to our 3 hunter synergy. Okay, the teams are definitely getting stronger now, and you can see without our 2-star God of War on the front line, we're extremely vulnerable, and we'll definitely lose this round. This is against Jerix, who's currently sitting in 4th position, and we're also playing QQ, and you can see on his board we are going to beat him there, but still a very close game. Only 1 summon and 1 unit that remained there, so we definitely need to start considering how we can implement a stronger team for the longer game.
Nature.
This is great.
Nature.
If we do pick up our other 2 druids, it means we already have our first 3 stars. So pick up a taboo, and the taboo is awesome for a feathered build, and I think quite a necessity because number 1, he levels up quickly, and also he's a non-mana generating unit, so you can put on the club on him and get a Frantic Mask there, and he reduces the mana, he kills mana as he attacks. So when it comes to potentially getting a teleport dagger, he's the unit that you're going to put it on, because he'll teleport to the back line, especially against mages or other hunters. He can be quite powerful in those comps. to counter those comps and prevent them from getting their ultimates off. We breeze through rock columns, so that's pretty straightforward, and pick up a couple of nice items there, and items are always great for this game. Items can actually make or break your strat. Okay. We should probably pick up Shadow Crawler here as well to contribute towards our feather synergy. And now we have 4 feather synergies on the board and bench combined. And we put her on instead of Taboo, and I think that's just more for DPS. She's not really that strong at level 1, but she is a 3-cost unit, and so it's worthwhile having her there. And now we start our reposition towards more of a ranged positioning or a hunter positioning in the corner, the corner box positioning. Okay, but this setup that this guy's got is pretty strong. This is Barragan, and between the 2-star Swordman and the 2-star Shining Dragon, he has a pretty strong team. It seems like we might be okay here. I think it's going to be pretty close because this level 2 God of War is going to knock our pieces quite heavily with his ult, if you can call it that, sort of passive ult. And he does beat us there. It's only by 2 points, so I'm not too concerned about that. But that was definitely as a result of that 2-star Swordman, and the 2-star Desperate Doctor that he had on there is also really strong in this stage of the game. We get our level 2 Taboo. So in terms of strength, definitely makes sense to put him on instead of the Shining Archer. Shining Archer is important, you know, potentially just because gives you the feather synergy and the hunter synergy, so it'll definitely work in this comp. But in terms of DPS at this stage of the game, I'd rather have the 2-star Taboo Witcher in any day of the week. And you can see we've already got 2 mana crystals, so that's going to help us in the later stage, I think maybe for a Razor Claw. And if we do get another Feathered Assassin there and we get Shining, then Shining will definitely require one of those mana crystals.
The enemy's just a candle in the wind.
We've actually got a nice team at this stage. We opt to level up, get to level 7. It's quite an early level 7. You can see none of the other guys have leveled up yet. But we are on a win streak at the moment. We only lost that 1 match. And if we can continue this and build up some sort of win streak, and this, I think this is the guy that beat us early. Oh no, it's not the guy, but he's got a similar setup. He just got the Swordman as well. And he's playing a mage comp. So this is definitely going to beat us, and so the level up didn't help by putting on the second Whisper Seer.
We're the best.
But it's okay. And Jerix moves on to a 5-win streak. Not going to spend money in that round. I think we need to econ up. We've got 30 there, so we rather save the 3 interest for next round and push towards 50 econ. And then potentially we can start rolling down or high rolling and getting hopefully some of the pieces that we want. Cool, so we pick up that victory, and that's great. Jerix plays us, but he beats us on his board and he maintains his win streak, so we know that we're sitting in second and we're not going to push up to first unless he loses against someone else. And what we'd really like to do now is get some of the other druids, get our front line stronger. the Wind Ranger is definitely a big pickup for us because we can take off the Shadow Crawler and get a and get the synergy going for hunters. And hunter synergy is so important for us in this comp. If we just run feathered, it's not going to do much. We need either hunter feathered or assassin feathered. And a bit of a misplay here, we don't reposition for wolf pack. And yeah, I really need to get that one right. That's the difference between a really good player and an average player. It's just those small nuances in the gameplay, and that's one of those things that I always miss out on. So I need to definitely up my game in that regard. This is actually going to be, I think we're going to lose this one. The Whisper Seer is, I don't think, strong enough to take on the big wolf alone. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to lose this one, and that's unfortunate. You don't want to lose against Wolfpack, and you definitely don't want to lose against Golems. And I know already that I have quite a weak team. You know, it's not excessively strong at this stage, and when we get a Dwarf Sniper as well, so that's something to consider. Although we already have our 3 ranged units, if we do get 6 feathered through other units, and we have an extra feathered unit, we could put the dwarf on. At this stage though, we already have our 3 feathered synergy, so it's okay for us to take off the Shining Archer and put the Dwarf Sniper on the back left, because he's a super powerful unit, and his DPS is really strong, especially if we add a Mana Crystal, which we do, and potentially maybe a Wooden Club at some stage just to get his attack speed up. He can be a really good unit to have in the back line. Okay, and this is Namtar. He's already got a 2-star Dwarf Sniper, and he's also going into a Hunter comp, but all of his are 2-star already, so he climbs through us reasonably easily. And you can see here, he's the other one. And we do have 2 other assassin teams as well that we'll need to be careful of. Assassin teams can absolutely rip apart a hunter team if they've got strong assassin units and you haven't leveled up the quality of your ranged units. And as you can see at the moment, I've got 2 1-star units there, and that's not ideal. So I take off Wind Ranger just to put on the 2-star Shining Archer for now, and hopefully we level up the Wind Ranger, put him back into this comp, because he's also an absolutely devastating DPS unit when it comes to quality once we've leveled him to 2 stars. Yeah, and you can see now our front line was holding up reasonably well there, and that gave our ranged units ample opportunity to hit their DPS, and they did. So you can see they haven't lost a lot of health. Their HP is still quite full, but they've really done the damage for us. Okay, there's nothing really there that I would take at this stage. Potentially a Venomancer, but the Razor Claw we will absolutely have to take. So that's going to knock us down to 36 econ, but that's okay. All we need now is the Warpwood Sage, and then we're in business, because then we've got our first 3-star unit and we can actually already start pushing, and there we get him. So we sacrificed a little bit in terms of econ there, so a bit of a roll down, but that's okay because it was worthwhile. We managed to pick up the Razor Claw and the Warpwood Sage, and in doing so we managed to get the 3-star Whisper here, and that's going to carry us for a little bit, so I'm extremely happy with that one. This guy, this is Barragan, and he does have a 3-star Shining Dragon, so that's definitely a worrying unit, but our backline's strong enough to manage this, so pretty happy. We've done quite well here. Namtar's now on a 5-win streak as well. Surprisingly few Beast Warriors, only one that I see, one full warrior build. So the guys are actually branching quite nicely into other builds. We had some Glacier stuff there, another Hunter build, some Assassins as well, and Mages. I think I saw Divinity Warlock there as well. So let's see how that plays out, but that makes it interesting for us because not facing off on a constant flow of warriors will be quite refreshing. I think in the current meta, so many people are just running warriors, whether it's warrior beast or just 9 warriors. The guys are really pushing it. Even warrior glacier at the moment is quite a popular comp, and it's great to see that in this lobby we don't have just 5 or 6 different warrior builds. Awesome. And this is UOG. He's playing losing streak. He's got decent econ, so I'm expecting that he will come up shortly with some more goods. And now we need to make a decision. We definitely want this Wind Ranger. Okay, and we're fortunate enough, we roll down and we pick up another one. So now we have him at 2-star, and we need to make a decision. Who do we take out, or do we level up? And we take out the Dwarf Sniper. I think we're going to level up on Curve, which will be next round. Or we'll wait till we get to 50 HP. But no, it'll be next round, because at round 21 we want to be at level 8. So next round after these creeps, we'll probably look at leveling to level 8. We get another crystal. I think that's our 3rd crystal this game, so quite mana quite mana friendly this item drop has been for us. They've been really generous with their mana items for us this round, and we'll always say yes to mana items. Would have been awesome if we were playing a mage setup. That's okay. I understand what I was doing there, but I think maybe the 2-star Wind Ranger might have been nice with that item, just to get the attack increased. We do level up to level 8 and put the Warpwood on, and now we're 5-6 on our Feathered Synergy. So we just need one more and we get our 6-6 Feathered Synergy, and that's gonna be a game changer for us completely, because then our evasion will be nice and high, and our team will survive a lot longer, especially the back row. And I was about to say I think we should win this, but it's going to be closer than I expected. We do take it though, and that was against Jar, who is currently sitting in 6th position. It would be really great if we could level up our Razor Claw and our Warpwood Sage soon. We do have a reasonable econ. I think we've been playing our econ a bit lower than normal. Obviously you want to run it at around 50, and we've been keeping it at around a 30 mark. But that's okay, because we're getting the pieces that we want, and we're doing it in decent time as well. So by round 22, I'm quite comfortable with the pieces that we have. And I think at some stage, if we can level up one of our assassins, we'll probably get rid of the God of War. Also, we'll need to improve the quality on our Razor Claw and our Warpwood Sage, just so that they can actually hold the front line better. Then we can probably get rid of that God of War. He's not a necessity for this composition. Okay, so we had our 5-win streak. Namtar hits his 8 or 10 win streak. So that's promising for both of us, and I'm quite happy that at least we got it. And we get gifted with the Razor Claw, so that's at least our 2-star. And we need 2 more, and we can get him to 3-star. Now we're on 39, so we're hoping for the victory here to knock us up to 40. And we'll get our 4 interest next round. We'll be in a very happy position and quite chuffed. Okay, I think this is our first or second time playing QQ. He's running a Dragon Knight comp, a Glacier Knight comp, and it's pretty strong. He does have the 2-star Aegis Ranger on the back line as well, and obviously those shields are going to give us a hard time, but we do now have those 3-star summons, those Treant summons, which has definitely helped us to last a bit longer, and we'll definitely take this round reasonably comfortably as well. I'm pretty happy with that.
A bigger candle.
Oh, and here's a nice little gift for us, a nice little present. This is the, so if you have to choose between Aegis Ranger or E-Ranger and the Dwarf Sniper, I think it's Dwarf Sniper almost every time, unless you're looking for an Aegis synergy, because Dwarf Sniper is really strong in this current meta. and I think if you have him on the back line or in the back corner, he's definitely going to contribute nicely towards your DPS stats. And you can actually see now he's leading at the moment in terms of DPS, with wind range in a close second. So those are definitely the two units that are carrying this team, and that's exactly why we have them both there. I don't think Egasus would have done nearly as much damage, and so it's a worthy replacement at this stage. And actually we have our Strange Egg and our Razor Claw, so I would suggest maybe even just going straight for the level up. We do lock it in for next round, which is fair. It is a creep round, so we don't want to be rolling, definitely not below 50. So let's keep it there, lock in the egg, and we could even keep the egg and maybe roll down to 40 just in case we get the other Razor Claw, because we could use the egg maybe on a Shining Assassin at a later stage as well. So let's see how it plays out. I think we'll be pretty comfortable here with these creeps. Sometimes when it comes to ranged comms, I struggle with the Wild Wings because they're super quick. And if my front line's not strong, then they manage to get through. But in this instance, it was pretty straightforward. I really want to get that last feathered unit on the board, so I might even want to start contemplating a level 9 roll. Okay, so I make the greedy call and go straight for the level 3 Razor, and I'm trying to see now, do we level all the way? No, we don't. We go down to 40, so that's okay. Okay, so I can see what's about to happen here. I've decided my team is strong enough to manage without the Guard of War because we've got the 3-star Razor Claw and the 3-star Whisper. And so we managed to put on our 6th feathered unit, and that's really going to help our evasion stats. So I'm actually happy with that decision. I think it's probably fair at this stage. And as you can see, our team's doing well. This is Namtar, who's in 3rd position, and he's actually trying, I think, to run a pretty similar strat, and we've been good against him. And we won on the other board as well, so that's always good. It's always great to scout out and see that you're winning on other boards. And now we can probably roll down. We could potentially, I mean, we could get the Egasus back in for the middle block if we wanted to. I'm trying to think, 10, 4, so we've still got 2 rounds. We've got 2 rounds before we can level up on curve. So because we're on the win streak, again, you can go either way. We could either be confident that we're going to keep winning for the next 2 rounds and not level up, or we could have leveled up off curve just to try and maintain the win streak by getting some more DPS onto the board with an extra piece. This team gave us a bit of a hard time last time. They were really close. The Flaming Wizard almost beat us, and it looks like in this instance they're definitely going to beat us. So that's one for us to watch out for. We're going to need to look out for that. That's Jar. He's currently in 6th position, but there's a possibility that one of the other teams is strong against him comp-wise, in which case he might get knocked out without our assistance. So I'm not overly worried about him. If he does start moving into a win streak, then we'll be concerned. But I think once we level 3 our Warpwood Sage, then we'll be in a much stronger position and we can start focusing on the quality of the other pieces that we've got. We'd want to get our Shining Assassin to 2-star, and obviously our Warpwood. Our Egasus isn't far off either from 3 stars. Okay, this is a Warrior Beast team, and they are actually climbing through us quite heavily. The Poisonous Worm level 2 is always one to be worried about, but we managed to pull through at the end. I think we were just strong enough. The Warpwood, the Whisper Seer definitely carried us through there, but we did lose there on the other board that we had a look at now, which was QQ, and he's running the Glacier Knights. Okay, there's another Taboo for us. Taboo is always a win.
Ends here.
And we've hit level 9.
All exercise.
So that's good news. We could even potentially look at getting a Siren. We skip over it for now. And that's okay. We've already got 4, and we're not looking for 6 hunters, so we've already got 4 on the board. And what matters now is again just making sure our front line is strong enough to support our ranged units, and so far so good. Now that we have the 2-star Warpwood Sage, that will provide a little bit more of a wall for us, which is good news. And you can see our front line's holding up really nicely, because this is against high shield units being knights. And the fact that they can actually maintain and keep them in the front line for so long has given us all the time that we need for our ranged units to come in and deal the damage. So a good, nice play there against QQ, and that's exciting for us because we lost against QQ in one of the previous rounds. So we are a little bit stronger than we were, and we just want to maintain that level of consistency. We want to ensure that there's no other teams out there that are going to be beating us. So we're still in first position at the moment. We've got nice HP, double the second place, and our econ's in a good spot. So we're in a comfortable position now. It won't be comfortable forever. I think once QQ starts increasing the quality of the pieces he's got in his Glacier Knight team, they're definitely going to be competition for us, and that's still going to be tough. So we need to just make sure we continue building on the quality of our team and potentially even get in a 10th unit. 3 of the 4 teams here are already on 9 units, so it would almost make sense to push a 10th unit. I don't think UOG will go 9 units now, simply because he's used his econ up, so he doesn't have a lot to work with. I can see there's our level 3 Aegisthus. Yeah, we were contemplating the Wind Ranger for level 3 there, but we didn't pick it up.
My arrow always arrives on time.
The Taboos, one step closer to level 3 as well. That's definitely going to help us. I might even, just for the sake of laughs, have put the Devastator on the board. Not on the board, on the bench. Just in case we do level up to 10 and we don't have an extra piece we want to throw on. Again, we've already got our 6 synergy for Feathered, so we only have 1 other assassin, so we can't go for the 3 assassin comp or synergy at this stage. And now we're up against Namtar, who's in 3rd position, and he's also playing a ranged setup. He had the Tsunami Stalker as well, or a Hunter setup, and we beat him and we beat QQ.
In the wind.
So far there's not many of the teams that are managing to keep up with us, and that's exciting. That's great. There's nothing better than when your Druid comp actually pulls together at the right time and you manage to get all the 3 stars that you want and actually utilize that to win the game. We still don't have a 3-star Warpwood, and that will really help us towards the later game. So I am hoping that we pick up one of those soon, actually. The sooner the better. But we almost had a 3-star Shining. Ooh. So here's a call we could make. We would necessarily... Yeah, we'd have to get rid of one of the Shadow Crawlers, because I think a 2-star Shining Assassin will be stronger than a 2-star Shadow Crawler. It is a higher cost unit, and I can't sell one of the other pieces that we have there. We need the Unicorn for the Druid synergy, so that we can try and get our 3-star Warpwood. And we're building towards 3-star on the other 2 units, so we're not going to be selling those anytime soon. And a close match here, actually. The 2-star Razorclaw is always difficult to get through, but we take the match, and that was against Jerick, and UOG's also out. So it's looking good. We've got another Beast Hunter and another Beast player, and then we've obviously got our Glacier Knight team that we still need to get through. And hopefully we can level up now. We'll probably roll down a bit.
What's that behind you?
And do we pick up the Strange Egg? Do we put it on the Shining Assassin or on the Shining Archer? Okay, we make the call for Shining Archer. It does give us more bench space, which is great. But we could have used it for Shining Assassin as well. Although because we are already on level 9, the chance of us running into a Shining Assassin is actually pretty reasonable. So I'm pretty okay with that decision. I mean, we could have done it either way. I think it's a bit of this, a bit of that. It's not serious. Okay, so this is Namtar. And Namtar's now giving us a hard time. He's picked up the level 3 Shining Archer. And for some reason that's given us quite a hard time. I wonder if he hasn't pumped it full of items. We do beat him on his screen though. So maybe just a bit of an RNG luck there. And that's okay. It's probably got to do with his Tsunami Stalker or his Siren. that just got their ult off at the right time. And as I was mentioning earlier, there we go, we get our Shining Assassin, because we are high level, so probability is high that we run into it. And now we're looking for our Taboo Witcher. We pick it up. As a 10th unit, we could even have picked up a Siren. We have run past a couple of those. And that's if we are going to econ up to 10. But in the interim, we put on some nice items onto our pieces. And now we're running quite a few 3-star units that are not in our Druid comp. So that's quite cool. I think the expectation is that your Druids, you get to 3-star if you're running this feathered comp. But to have 2 of our archers or our hunters also at a 3-star is great, as well as our Taboo Witcher. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, another close match, but we do get through, and that was against Jerix, and we actually beat him on his board as well. Or we beat him on our board as well, and so we took the victory there. That actually ended sooner than I expected. I didn't think that match was over. I thought we had another round or two, but great stuff. Yeah, so a cool victory there. A pretty classic, pretty straightforward hunter build with feathered, and I think, I mean, we could have put Siren in there, and we could have put Tsunami Stalker at some stage as well, but I was happy with the comp. We got everything that we wanted. We got some nice 3-star units, and it was nice to not be facing a whole lot of different warriors. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all your guys' support. We'll catch you in the next video. Until then, enjoy. Cheers.